Well, hey, good morning, Thibault and Philip. Great having you both with us. Just sort of talking about the conference and the role that the conference has played in the development of this NewGen project and the relationship between HDF and NSJ and the NewGen project. So, Philip, first of all, could you just tell us about the real concept behind NewGen and what the role of the Energy Conference and the Energy Chamber was in developing that?
Yeah, for sure, Dax. And really, just to be brief about it, I've had the privilege of being a part and a member of the Energy Conference Energy Chamber for a number of years. And it's through the Chamber and other like-minded individuals in the whole green energy space that the consideration of how best to optimize Trinidad and Tobago's energy efficiency that ultimately led to this consideration of a NewGen type project, converting the energy efficiency electricity into carbon neutral hydrogen, which is the much needed feedstock for the Point Lisas estate. And that did arise out of the bowels of the Energy Chamber, fellow members, many conversations, energy efficiency subcommittees, and I just had the privilege of helping all of that manifest through the reins of Kenneth J. Green.
Fantastic. And then Thibault, I think I first met you in Miami at the CREF conference, I think in Miami. A competitor, but people who we're very happy to work with as well. And then I sort of introduced you. I had a brief meeting with you there, and then sort of said, well, you need to talk with Philip Julien. So can you just tell us about that and how then the relationship had developed between HDF and NewGen through a series of conferences over the years?
Yeah, that's true, Dax. So we actually been introduced with Philip through you, and we have to thank you for that, because that led to 2 years of deep review and growing relationship between the HDF team, which was already present in the Caribbean doing infrastructure projects related to hydrogen. Actually, when we met, it was right after I presented the project being installed the same year in 2019 in Martinique, which was a hydrogen project within an industrial estate, a refinery such as the Point Lisa estate, a bit smaller, but still. And this is how we started discussing with Philip and expressed our interest to be part of this amazing journey that we believe is the initiator for transforming the way the petrochemical sector of Trinidad and Tobago is operating.
And so what happens now, and what's the next steps, Philip?
Well, I think with the advent of an entity like HDF Energy as a 70% majority shareholder, it really brings wind into the sail of NewGen, both in terms of bringing their technological expertise, their project financing, their experience in other kind of projects in the Caribbean. So this now really builds the momentum that we've been looking for towards finalizing detailed design, securing additional project financing, and really accelerating the engagement of all stakeholders, public and private sector, towards manifesting this project into reality in the next few years.
So what are you hoping Thibault to see through this conference coming up just in a couple of weeks' time, the Energy Conference 2022? What are you looking forward to there?
First, to meet with the people that are instrumental in making this project happen in person. For those who haven't met as yet, my last few trips to Trinidad and Tobago. And second, gather them around the common goal of aligning towards a timeline in order to deliver a project like this. Such an infrastructure project requires a strong alignment from all the stakeholders that are involved in the decision-making process or in the implementation of some step. It cannot be done without gathering those stakeholders. So this is really what I'm looking forward. And by the way, that would be my first energy conference in presence in Trinidad and Tobago.
We're really looking forward to having you here, and it's going to be great to have an in-person conference. After over 2 years of basically a virtual meeting, so I'm really looking forward to that. So, guys, thanks for all the continued support.
For sure, Dax, and you know me, I always like to try and bring an announcement to your conference. So let's just say, watch this space. There may well be an important announcement coming up during the conference. Fingers crossed.
Well, you haven't disappointed yet, Philip, so I'm expecting a lot from you.
And I just have to say, the conference really is a conduit and a focal point for us in the energy community to really drive towards having meaningful things to say and share the good news. And it's wonderful to have these targets of your conference to achieve key things. So we'll keep moving in that space. We owe a lot to the Energy Chamber, Dax, for the progression of the NewGen project. So thank you, and thank you to your team.
Well, thank you for all the continued support, Philip and Thibault. So I look forward to seeing you on the 31st of May at the Hyatt Hotel.